Hey, what's up? It's Alex. When I help students with their formal English writing, there's one phrase that I see students use a little bit too often for it to be natural. That phrase is the idiom, "every coin has two sides." It's not a common idiom that I've ever heard growing up in the United States, and because of that, I actually wasn't sure what it meant the first few times that I read it in a student's essay. Because it's a slightly confusing idiom if you don't already know it, I'd recommend students use some different idioms in their writing. One phrase that expresses a similar meaning is, "nothing is black and white." If you say nothing is black and white, then it reminds the reader that every issue is more complicated than it might appear at first. You could also use a metaphor and say, "this," referring to the issue, "is a double-edged sword." A double-edged sword is something that seems like it has an advantage at first, but like a sword has two edges, it might come back and hurt you. Or finally, sometimes the clearest way to write is to just avoid an idiom or a metaphor and to simply say directly that it's a complicated issue. It's more complicated than it appears at first. It has advantages, but also disadvantages. Or you could say, it's a complex and nuanced issue. Whichever one you choose, even if you prefer to use "every coin has two sides," just remember not to use the same idiom or turn of phrase in the same piece of writing more than once. That's why it's important to learn different variations on it that you can use to spice up the variety of your writing. What are other common idioms and metaphors that you like to use in your English writing? Let me know in the comments.